Okay, to do a good hip flexor stretch, you first have to learn a posterior pelvic tilt. So think of my belt buckle as the top of a bucket, and we're going to try to dump the water out the back side of that bucket, like that. So I'm trying to dump the water, trying to tuck my butt, trying to contract between my belt buckle and my belly button. Those are good cues. Now, if I want to stretch my left hip flexor group, throw my right leg up on a table, couch, anything that you can put that leg up on, chair's fine. You want to do two really important things. Posteriorly tilt that pelvis and straighten that knee. When you do that, you'll feel a nice strong stretch all across the front of that hip joint.
Okay, if you're struggling with the pelvic tilt part of the hip flexor stretch, that's one of the most important parts. We have to have that right before we can do a good hip flexor stretch. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to learn how to do pelvic tilt. The simplest way to do it, you're gonna lay flat on your back in your bed or on the floor. I'm gonna place my hands on my chest, and all I'm gonna do with my feet about shoulder width apart, flat on the table or bed, I'm just gonna arch my back up. I'm gonna push my belly button towards the ceiling. I am going to flatten my back into the table. And I am going to go back and forth about 15 times. This is a simple pelvic tilt exercise. As we get better at this, then I'm going to transition into this kind of quadruped position. Hands and knees, shoulder width apart. I'm going to keep my chin nice and tucked, straight spine, and I'm going to do the same thing. Arch the back, tuck the pelvis. Arch the back, bring my belt buckle into my belly button, tuck the pelvis. I don't want to arch the whole back. This is not a cat-cow exercise. This is a pelvic tilt. Bring the belt buckle into the belly button. Same thing, about 15 times. As I get really good at this, now we transition into standing. Tuck the pelvis, arch the back. Now we're really good at pelvic tilts, and we're ready to do our hip flexor stretch.